Good afternoon, beautiful people. Welcome to another episode of the Dream Wager on this Feel Good Friday, June 11th, 2021. I am your host, Dylan. Alongside me, we got their NBA guru, Elvis. How are you, sir?
Decent.
Could be better.
Could be better.
Attaboy. And joining us from sunny South Carolina, the legend, Joey D. How are you, sir?
Doing great. Feels great to get back in the office here.
Oh, absolutely. How was your week? How was your record?
Pretty decent. 500, stayed afloat, Couldn't
Yeah,
complain.
absolutely.
That's across major sports and combat sports. So,
How about you, Elvis? How'd you do in the NBA?
Pretty good this week. 15-5 last 7 days.
Ooh.
So killing in the playoffs.
I'm 27 and 24 last couple days, just staying afloat as well. All these blowouts have been hurting my player props because they're just not able. They're not even playing the fourth quarter, and I think that's what's hurting me, at least, because instead of taking the sides that I'm not as comfortable with, I try to isolate that and try to get player props that I think are gonna hit.
are you taking more overs and the unders are hitting?
That's what I'm doing. I'm taking a lot of like over 9.5 rebounds, assists. They'll get 7, something like that. Yeah. So it's been all right, but we will bounce back today. We're going to have a good day today. But before we start in the NBA, I just want to do a quick shout out to my girl Clarissa Shields on her first MMA win. She knocked out Brittany Elker in the third round. Shields spent some time on the ground where she didn't want to be, and obviously her ground game could use some work. But boy, when that woman was on her feet throwing them punches, watch out.
Absolutely, the GWOAT.
Yeah, she is sharp. Holy shit.
You know she's going to be light years ahead with her striking. You know how big her pedigree is, but it's going to take some time to catch up with the grappling, but she has the desire to do so. So she has a bright future, that's for sure.
And I thought it was a good stoppage too. The ref gave Elkin every chance to survive and fight back. Because I was reading on Twitter that it was an early stoppage, but I didn't necessarily think so. She was just holding on to Shields' leg for the last 2-3 minutes.
And she lost that dominant position. You would have thought that she would have tried everything to keep it, and she was winning the fight. She won the second round handedly. So the fact that she gave up the dominant position to get finished in the third, I think maybe it's more of a credit to Clarissa Shields' determination, the fact she put in a good training camp. But, you know, Brittany Elkin did let it slide a little bit. But
yeah, absolutely. Like we said, her ground game definitely could use some work, but give her credit for not giving up after a bad first round and eventually getting the knockout. So congrats to her. Hopefully we'll see her in the octagon soon.
Yeah.
Do you think she'll continue boxing and training for MMA?
No, she's done. I think she's going to retire if she hasn't already declared the retirement for boxing. And she's making the complete transition to MMA. But I think she'll be along with PFL for a little while because Kayla Harrison might make the jump to the octagon sooner. So,
that could be a good fight.
PFL is going to need a face for the women's side of there.
Yeah, definitely. Well, PFL was fun last night as well. Joe, you also watched one this morning. How did that go?
Yeah, early bird gets the worm. They were on at 8:30 a.m. Bleacher Report Live. Good thing they're doing that. You know, a lot of these promotions are trying to get involved with a lot of the media outlets. So it was good. They did a combination. One tends to do that, where they'll throw the mixed martial arts events in with whether it's a Muay Thai fight or a kickboxing fight. And they actually had both on Full Blast too, which was the one this morning. So it was a pretty good event.
That's good. And later on in the show, we'll get to UFC 263. But for right now, let's go right into the association. Elvis, Nets went down last night, but there won't be a sweep, but that's fine. Should the Nets be worried for a possible comeback in this series, or what do you think? It was just one game?
It was just one game. Let's just be real, be honest here.
Okay.
We held the Bucks to 86 points. All season, I've just been hearing about our defense. Worst defense in the league. We can't guard a soul. We can't stop nobody. We just held the Bucks to 86 points. So, you know, everybody want to talk negative. You got to come out and think positive. So the fact that we held the Bucks to 86 points is just amazing to me.
Lost by only 3 without James Harden.
Exactly.
And a terrible shooting performance by the whole team besides Kevin Durant. Even Kevin Durant in the first half, he started off slow. But to lose by 3 in Milwaukee after shooting performance like that, I'll take that all day. Yes, yeah. I did call the Nets in 5, so 5 still looking good.
Yeah. Now. What about you, Joe? What were your thoughts on the game last night?
Yeah, I thought they pushed the ball up court pretty well. But you know, it got gritty in there, as you saw towards the second half. They got into the third and the fourth quarter. It started getting a little chippy in there. It was PJ, right? PJ Tucker getting the face of Kevin Durant. So, you know, I like that. But like you said, it was a 3-point loss to it. You know, going to their home court. You think the Bucks should have blown them out without James Harden, and they did not do. They did not take a commanding lead. They didn't do anything to make me think that they're gonna take this game 4 when you know. All the chips on the table, they need this game. They need to win at home, and I'm not liking their odds because an 86-83 victory, that's just not proving it to me. That's not, swaying a lot of the casuals, so to speak.
Reminded me of a little of a 90s basketball, all this defense.
It was like a Lakers Celtics 2009 championship game.
You guys both alluded to it. Harden's still out. I think he's going to be out for the rest of the series, but I thought the Nets played really well last night on the road. And I'm like I was telling you before we started recording, I'm actually glad the Nets lost because now I'm going to hammer the Nets in game 4 because they're clearly the better team.
Yeah, and right now the spread is only at -1.5.
And it's creeping up. So if you want to get on that, I would advise you
to
jump
their game on Sunday, correct?
No, I think tomorrow.
Yeah,
tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow? Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, just imagine when Harden gets back. They were just a shot away from forcing OT last night. KD shot well in the second half. Kyrie had a off game, but like I said, in the last 4 minutes, I know KD was getting a lot of shots. Kyrie, has to demand the ball. It has to be either in his hands or KD's. You can't let Bruce Brown, Blake Griffin, as good as they have played this
They're
series,
role players.
Yes, you can't let the ball be in their hand. But I did think the Bucks did a good job defending the inbound, not making KD or Kyrie get the ball and make Bruce Brown do that little floater.
Yeah, and not for nothing. With the last possession when they inbounded the ball to KD, I think PJ Tucker was trying to intentionally foul him.
And I thought that was a foul, but they weren't going to call.
They weren't going to call it, but that was a foul.
Yeah,
that was a foul. And Bruce Brown last second shot. Hey, this is how I think about it. James Harden's hurt. If James Harden wasn't hurt, the ball would have been in his hands.
Yeah.
And probably 8 out of 10 times we win that game with James Harden if the ball's in his hand, driving one-on-one on Brook Lopez.
Might even be 10 out of 10 times with James Harden.
Yeah, exactly. 10 out of 10 times. Because he's either going to draw the foul or he's just going to convert it.
Honestly, I was surprised on that inbounds because Steve Nash actually had a timeout to use, and they didn't use the timeout, which was very surprising to me because you use that timeout. Now you find a way to adjust to what the Bucks were playing with, playing defense on you. So I thought that was a little surprising as well. I just think Bruce Brown can't have the ball in his hands in that situation. No disrespect. I think he's a good player.
He had a good game.
Yeah.
He was doing things. He was dropping them little floaters early on, but
I think the Nets will be fine. And I'm like I said, I'm kind of glad they won because now I'm just going to hammer the Nets in game 4. They're clearly the better team. To be out one of your best players and to be down as a lot as you were early on and to get back, the series has been a series of stretches. So for example, in the beginning, the Bucks went on that big run. And then in the second quarter, the Nets went on that big run to cut the lead in half. So I think this game, the series is all going to be about stretches. And I think they took care of business at home, but I think the Nets are clearly the better team, don't you?
Yeah.
So yeah, that I think game 4 is going to be tomorrow, like Elvis said. So if you want to jump on the Nets now, they're a -1.5 favorite. I expect them to all the money to go to them because,
Yeah, I even would alternate it at like -3.5, 4.5 to get
that
you
line's gonna go up.
Yeah, to get you at +156. I was looking at it, so
yeah, that's good. The other game last night, the Jazz took a 2-0 lead against the Clippers. Elvis, is this a series that's going to be different with the Clippers, or do you think the Jazz will take care of business?
Different. All right, I could see the Clippers come back and win the series, but will they?
Are they the better team though?
They have more star power at the end of the day. You got Kawhi Leonard, you got Paul George. I'm gonna be honest, Reggie Jackson's been playing like a fucking all-star.
Yeah, he's been playing really good.
Amazing. And, the surrounding class, you got Morris, Nicholas Batum, you got Rondo coming off the bench, still elite. Yeah. I don't care what nobody says. Rondo's still an elite point guard, not player, just point guard.
He's a floor general when the other point guard isn't out. Joe, what were your thoughts on the Jazz taking commanding?
The only thing I'd say is just it's on paper. They're not coming on the floor and they're ready to turn up and score all the points that they possibly can show that they can, but I gotta take the points. I gotta give the points that the Clippers are gonna give 4.5 right now. I see that line moving a little bit, but I felt comfortable taking it. I think they need it to do or die. So the do or die situations, I feel comfortable in taking the Clippers because they don't win Game 3. It's another one where the series is lost. There's no way they can come down 3-0. There's no way.
Yeah. And they're going home, which is why I think you're seeing them -4.5.
Yeah, they're favorited.
Desperation and everything, but I like going back a little to game 1. I felt like the Clippers, they just got done playing a 7-game series against the Mavs. Then they had to travel to Elevation and in a tough environment like Utah. I just knew you were playing with house money. I knew the Jazz were going to at least win game 1. Paul George had an awful game 1. And can we have this conversation? We were talking about this. Donovan Mitchell's not a star anymore. He's a superstar.
Guaranteed superstar.
He's 24 years old, and this man could get anything he wants on any time. Yeah, Kawhi Leonard has proven himself and is the best player in this series, but Donovan Mitchell's playing like the best player in this series. Is that not? What do you
it's
think?
100% facts right there. Nothing wrong with what you just said, Dale. But I'm gonna be honest. What Donovan Mitchell is doing this series is pretty impressive, especially when you got Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Morris, even Pat Bev switching on you. He's putting in work.
Yeah.
When you quick, when you think of lockdown defenders, mainly 2 or the 3 right there, Pat Bev and Kawhi Leonard, and he's making it look
even
easy.
Morris. You can even throw Morris in there. Morris will lock you down
at a certain point in the second half, because he dropped 27 in the first half yesterday. In the second half, they were triple teaming him.
I remember when in the third quarter, with like 9 minutes left to go, when they're down 21. Ty Lue switched to a zone, and it kind of slowed him down.
Yeah.
Kind of slowed him down. They got back in the game. They actually took the lead.
Yeah, the Clippers went on a little run. I think they're gonna go more to a zone.
You got to do something to slow down Spidey, man. I'm gonna be honest. Overall, he's just unbelievable. I'm gonna be honest. He's just a bucket.
Yeah.
45 for his game, 37 last night. You got Jordan Clarkson hitting ridiculous shots off the bench.
Oh my God.
Joe Ingles,
6-man.
clutch. Yeah. Joe Ingles hitting clutch shots like that.
Rudy Gobert down low.
Rudy Gobert
Defensive player of the year.
There you go, Joe.
Exactly.
I'm gonna be honest, like it's a tough matchup. Yeah, on paper, Clippers are better, but Jazz are clicking, man.
And it helps Donovan Mitchell too when you have a Hall of Famer like D Wade on the court side talking to you.
Yo, I'm pretty sure he's part owner.
Part owner.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, he's over here telling him plays and shit.
Sneaky good investment right there.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah.
I really like this Utah team. They play great defense. They shoot the three ridiculously well.
They hit 23's first 2 games.
Yeah, and especially at home. You knew they were going to take care of business at home, I thought. At least I did. Now we're just going to see on the road. We're going to see if they could get the job done.
To see if Clippers can really come back from down 0-2 twice. I doubt it. But they got what it takes. I'll tell you that.
What else? I was going to say this. What was I going to say? Ty Lue and his substitutions, they've been real head scratchers. Now Luke Kennard is not playing, but he played the crunch time in the first series against the Mavs. Now you're playing Pat Bev 20, 25 minutes. I get he's very energetic and he plays good defense. But like I was telling you before we started recording, he'll go and run down the lane to the basket just to run up top to the key. Like he's doing nothing productive in my eyes.
He's not playing in rhythm right now. He's not the hot hand either.
And with all the talent that they do have and how deep the Clippers are, they don't communicate very well on the court.
That's why I feel like, why is Pat Bev getting 20, 25 minutes a night? Well, that should be Rondo's minutes. They need a floor general.
But I think because Reggie Jackson is playing so well, you're seeing Rondo not coming in.
Yeah, because, Reggie Jackson demands the ball. And at the end of the day, you got Kawhi, Paul George on the floor. One of the 3 needs the ball.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Rondo will take from that. But at the end of the day, Rondo will get you over that hump. Rondo going to get everybody set, run the right play.
I mean, could that be a little lack of coaching, though? Like, I think Ty Lue is good. But, if Doc Rivers was in this situation, would you think the same could be said? I don't necessarily think so.
If Doc Rivers was in this situation, they probably would have lost against the Mavs.
So you don't like Doc?
So you're thinking the opposite of that question. Okay.
No, I'm just saying – Them
but
boys
you,
choked last year.
But weren't you saying before we started recording that Ty Lue is getting out coached? You said that to me.
That's what
it looks like. That's what it looks like.
And it's not what it looks like. It's what's happening.
Yeah, kind of. You could say that, especially with those late game substitutions.
Yeah, which they're very confusing.
Don't get me wrong. That zone, switching to the zone,
that was smart.
That was smart.
But then they went right back to man. I don't understand that.
And they put Pat Bev in to play man. Which I don't understand.
Yeah, no.
And he gets a lot of ticky-tack fouls. He slows down the game with his bullshit. So, yeah. I don't know.
Well, we'll see. Hopefully, I'm on the Jazz in this series.
Yeah, I took the Jazz.
Yeah, I think they're the better team.
I just have respect for the Clippers.
Yeah,
I respect them.
Definitely. So. But let's get into tonight's slate. We got a pair of game 3s. Joel Embiid and the 76ers are looking to take control of that series, while Devin Booker and the Suns look to take a 3-0 lead over the MVP Joker and the Nuggets. The 76ers are a -1.5 favorite on the road, and the total is set to 225. Elvis, what's your play on this game?
Tonight, I'll be having the Sixers at -1.5. I just feel like Embiid is just too much for this Hawks team.
Yeah.
I like how Steph been playing, Tobias Harris. Even Ben Simmons going to show up, give you Ben Simmons things every night. And I'm going to be honest, with Doc Rivers Talking about my man Doc. My man Doc Rivers did to Trae Young in that second half, throwing different defenders. We just saw Trae Young worst game of his young playoff career.
Yeah.
So could we see that exceeding?
Now he's going back home.
Now he's going back home. So, he has a little more, confidence at home. But at the end of the day, I feel like defensively, Sixers going to guard him real hard. And
you're going to take the -1.5.
I might even sprinkle, like I said, sprinkle the alternate spread and bring it up a little bit just to get some plus money.
Yep. Joe, what's your play on this game?
Yeah, I think I'm just in a given mood, and I gotta, trail you a little bit with the -1.5. I caught it at -112. I think that's, getting squeezed a little higher. So we'll see as that progresses. But yeah, man, we said it. Speaking of Doc Rivers, he's gonna have to lock down that defense a little more, play a little different, I think, around Trae Young, so he doesn't penetrate as easily, and then try to set up the pick and roll, because once he gets that going, then it's harder. That's where on the flip side, you're seeing Joel Embiid have his way with Clint Capella because they're being effective with it.
He's just dominating.
Yeah, a lot of people are also saying, I've been seeing they're giving their takes, and they're saying that Ben Simmons was robbed Defensive Player of the Year by Rudy Gobert.
Really?
Yeah. They said that Ben Simmons.
Rob, but Ben Simmons was there. Like,
Yeah.
if Ben Simmons would have won, I wouldn't.
So honestly, talking about robbery, sorry to cut you off, Joe, but the way when the MVP was announced, Embiid was playing like he was the MVP. He dropped 42, I think, the night that it was announced, and it was kind of disrespectful, I thought, because yeah, he misses a lot of games, and that's the reason why he didn't get MVP. But right now, can you definitively tell me that Joker's playing better than Embiid?
It's not showing.
It's
in terms
not
of
showing.
getting a win.
Exactly.
No, it's not reflecting in the series.
And that's where I'm at. So I think, and as much as I was on Joker the whole year getting MVP,
now he was on Steph. Stop it.
No, I said Steph deserved to be in the conversation.
He didn't.
Yeah, he got second most votes.
I did say it too. I did say Steph needed to be in the conversation as well. But Embiid did finish second, right? It was right behind Joker.
I think.
Yeah, pretty sure
I
was.
I sent you the chart.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't look at it. I just
D Rose got a first place vote.
I love that.
D Rose got one.
Hey, man.
I want to know whoever did that. Shout out you.
It was actually the fan. It was a cumulative fans voting. So
their vote.
Yeah, it was
so one vote, and it was D Rose first place
for the fans.
That's
fans,
tough.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was just in a given mood, and even going when you get into the next game, I'm gonna also give the 1.5 on the Denver side because I think they need it. I like the do or dies this weekend. I feel like it might be kind of boring, but it's do or die for these guys.
For the 76 game, like I said, I think they're the better team. But the Hawks are really good at home, which worries me. I think from the All-Star break, they're about 17-3, 17-2.
You know how they have the same exact record since the All-Star break? Or like from March?
Against the spread or just
no,
straight up?
Straight up, they have the same exact record from some exact date in March. I was like, wow.
The changing coach helped them tremendously.
Literally.
But I mean, so like I said, they're home, so that kind of worries me. That's the only side I would play if I was taking a side. I would take the 1.5 with the 76ers. But my play on this game is a player prop. It's going to be Ben Simmons under 7.5 boards. The 76ers have played the Hawks 4 times this season, and he's gone under this number every time they played. I played it last game at under 8.5, and it went way under he only got 3 boards. And with the switching change with Doc Rivers, he's guarding Trae Young now. So it
might be a smart move. Yeah.
Yeah. He brings him a lot farther away from the bucket. And in this series, there are a lot of bigs. You got Clint Capella, Embiid, Gallinari, even John Collins and Tobias Harris are getting 8-9 rebounds. So I think it's a cluster down low, and I think he's going to stay away from the rim. So I'll take Ben Simmons under 7.5 boards. That's my play on this game. Let's go to the second game of the night. Backs up against the wall at home. The Nuggets are a 1.5 favorite over the Suns, and the total is set at 223.5. Joey, you already alluded to it. You're going to stick with the whole team.
Yeah, to be honest, the reason why I actually haven't got a chance to watch the game, it's past my bedtime with those. I haven't been able to lock into them. So, yeah, I just think that this do or die situation from the highlights that I've seen, Joker's going to need to carry the team. We talked about it all the time. We talked about the missing Jamal Murray, how that's affecting the team. It's affecting the chemistry of the whole team. So I'm just going to roll with them having a do or die. It's only at 1.5. I think taking a money line is not necessarily the bad move, but I want to get a little bit more out of the line. So that's why I did just give the 1.5. I'm in a given mood.
All right. Elvis, do you think the Suns go up 3-0 and take full control of the series, or do you see the Nuggets defending their home court?
No, I'll be taking Denver tonight in this must-win situation.
Wow.
Like I said before, Denver is just some fighters, man. They don't got no quit in them. They could be down 30 points. They still go ball like they're down 2. At the end of the day, Denver, I just like riding with them. At the end of the day, I have faith in them. Great coach, Joker. I feel like Joker even might come out and have a great performance tonight. They're back home.
He's the only one playing well.
What do you think, a triple-double?
Honestly.
It was favorited on the sports books, him to get a triple-double tonight. So
I just feel like, first MVP in Denver, the crowd will go crazy. They're going to chant. So to me, it's a must-win game and a must-win scenario. So I'll be taking Denver tonight, and I even might sprinkle some on a triple-double at plus 550.
For Joker?
Oh, it's not favorited. I thought it was favorite when I saw it. So
No, it's at plus 550. Him to get a triple-double. I just feel like he's going to have a huge night. The crowd's going to be into it. And
I mean, it's worth a sprinkle.
Yeah, it's worth a sprinkle. Not, don't put the house on it.
But Ayton is a great defender, and he's his toughest opponent. Joker has come out and said that. Those are his words.
Care.
Okay.
My man put up, 34 the first game?
With an L. You could have put up 60 in my book. I don't give a shit. As long as you're losing, that's all that I care about. And actually, the line just went up. Instead of 1.5, Denver's actually -2 now. So money's moving towards.
They heard the show.
Denver.
They're like, yeah, the Dream Ranger boys like Denver. Up the spread.
With me, it's an interesting game. I like the Nuggets in the first quarter. You saw Michael Malone call out his team after the ugly Game 2 loss. And the last time he called out his team, he got an excellent performance out of the gate. So I think they respond in desperation so they don't go down 3-0 at home. I also like the under in this game as well. Could see them playing very physical, trying to get the win. Like I said, desperation. But my official play is another player prop. I usually don't go to the props, but like I said,
and you just said the props been fucking you because of blowouts.
But I don't think these are going to be blowouts. I think they're going to be.
You're just going to go back to the well there.
Yeah, my player prop is Devin Booker over 9.5 rebounds and assists. It's a player combo. I played it last game when it was at 10.5 and it hit. The Suns are 6-0 in the postseason when Devin Booker goes over this stat, 0-2 when he doesn't hit this prop, which were the 2 games in Los Angeles that they lost to.
I like that.
He's on the court for 40-plus minutes, especially if it's a close game, which I anticipate happening. I think he continues to shoot the ball really well, and he gets double-teamed a lot. It will open up other players like Ayton, Paul, Bridges to get a bucket. So that's going to be my official play. I like Devin Booker over 9.5 rebounds and assists at -130. It's a little juicy, but I like it.
Wet
like
I'm butt.
Yeah. I was watching a show and they were talking about Devin Booker, and every time they brought him up, it was wet like a book. Everyone keeps saying that shit. It's amazing.
And before we go ahead, I have 2 same game parlays for you guys. I have one for the Philly game and one for the Denver game. So let me just start with the Philly game. Philly money line, Tobias Harris 20+ points.
Wow.
Joel Embiid 30+ points. Trae Young 25+ points. That'll leave your odds at plus 499.
Ooh,
gotta love it.
Love that.
With that same game parlay and those player props, that makes me want to think the over is gonna hit because that's 50 alone from them 2.
Yeah,
you like the over.
I have them winning the game, and I have them winning comfortably, not minus
the 76ers.
Yeah, about 6, 5, maybe 4.5.
I hope it
didn't mean to cut you off there.
Yeah, and then for the Suns game, I got Devin Booker 25+ points, Chris Paul 15+ points, Chris Paul 8+ assists, Joker 25+ points, Ayton 8+ rebounds, Joker 8+ rebounds. That'll leave you at plus 477.
Woo.
Love the odds today.
Yeah, I can see that happening, especially if it's a close game.
This is everybody's average.
Yeah.
That's everybody's average.
So they should hit it.
They should hit it.
Yeah.
And then the Philly one, that one I feel real good about. That one,
yeah.
Short 4-legger.
When was the last time you hit a same game parlay?
Well, I hit one game 1 for the Nets game, but on the show I haven't hit one in 2-3 weeks.
Wow.
But I hit one every,
But you're due.
I'm due. On the show I'm due.
And tonight is the night.
That's right.
Let's go the no hockey tonight. We're down to the final 4. I think the Islanders are the luckiest team in the NHL right now. I love them.
Any picks? Any picks for the
The
Stanley Cup Finals?
I mean, I have a ticket 14-1 for the Canadians to win the whole thing. So
Wow. I got the Habs.
I got to ride with the Habs.
Is this Carey Price speaking in you? Is this what's going on?
Oh yeah, it's definitely Carey Price speaking for me. But
we need a Stanley Cup prediction though. We need at least that.
Well, I'm rolling with the Lightning. I think the Lightning are gonna push through the Islanders.
Tampa going back?
Yeah, I think defending champs, they're gonna go back. They're minus 250 on the series against the Islanders
to win the series.
Yeah, to win the series.
In game one, I think they're gonna take it. I'll take a money line. It's minus 190 for the Sundays. They already have the lines up.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna also go under 5.5 goals, and I'm gonna go the under first period 1.5. I like them.
Joe, I texted you the other night. The first time I take the under 1.5 goals for the game. Goal.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there like this guy, bro.
That's why I didn't take it.
Bro, I trailed him one day. He was like, yeah, first quarter under.
Oh, that was a heartbreaker.
But honestly,
bro, 3 out of the 4 games went over. I'm like, yo, the one day I actually bet him.
No, but to Joey's credit, most of the times he does bet the under 1.5. They do.
No, they do it just besides that one day.
Yeah. I also do like the under 5.5 for game one. I think Verlanov for the Islanders is going to shut them down too. I think it's going to be like a 2-1, 2-0 game, but I like the Tampa Bay in the series as well. And then, I love it. Vegas Knights against Canadians on the other side in the West Coast.
That's a fun matchup.
Oh my God. Vegas Golden Knights are minus 440 in the series.
Really?
I love it. I'll take the Canadians
taking the
plus
money
330 because I already have a ticket. I gotta go with
Let's roll with
Habs.
it. I think the goaltending's too good. And granted, they got Marc-Andre Fleury on the Vegas side, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
yes.
it's going to be a goalie matchup, but just the way that Price is playing, man, he seems lights out.
Yeah, the playoff, not the playoffs, but the Final Four for hockey starts on Sunday night. Correct, Joe?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Right.
So we'll be sure to touch it on Monday, but over the weekend we're just gonna touch baseball, MMA, basketball. Let's actually get into the diamond. There's one game going on right now between the Cardinals and the Cubs in the 5th inning. Cardinals are up 5-1. I don't have anything in this game. Joe, do you have anything?
No, yeah, it was too early of a line, and I just didn't want to get involved.
Yeah. What games do you have? You want to just go down the list?
I like the plus money that we're getting in the next matchup. San Fran being an underdog against Max Scherzer starting and the Washington Nationals. I think that's why they're favored. Anytime Scherzer's on the mound, they come to play. But they're just not that good of a baseball team as compared to the San Francisco Giants. Yeah. And DeSclafani's on the mound, so I got to roll with my boy.
No relation,
but maybe. You never know.
Maybe.
But, yeah, plus 152. I got him on the money line. I'm taking the full game, and I like the plus money. You can even take him in the first 5 because their first 5, the best team in the MLB. So
yeah, I was just going to the first 5. I'll take San Francisco Giants on the run line in the first 5 at plus a half, and it's plus money at plus 112.
Nice.
Like Joey said, they're the best for first 5 inning team, and honestly, yeah, Max Scherzer's good, and that's probably why they're favored. But Anthony DeSclafani is no joke either. He's a stud as well. So I think they could hang with him and even take the lead. They have a great lineup. Brandon Belt, you got
power hitting.
Buster Posey's amazing.
My hero.
So I like your hero. But yeah, so that's my initial thoughts on on that game. Anything else? How about in the Braves and Marlins matchup? Anything?
No, I'm not getting into until the Padres and the Mets matchup for
perfect. That's what I have as well. Let's go right into it. We got 2 great pitching matchups between Blake Snell and the best in the biz, Jacob deGrom. What do you got?
Yeah, as much as we like Snell, he is an impressive pitcher. We got to go with deGrom here. I'm also going to bang his player prop over 9.5 Ks. A little welcome back tour right here. It's plus money, plus 105. So I'm going to hit that. And the Mets are favored tonight because DeGrom's on the mound. So I'll take the full game favor here. The New York Mets are minus 167. LGFM. Let's go fucking Mets. Let's fucking go Mets.
Before you call me a homer, let me just tell you, Jacob deGrom has not only been the best pitcher in the league, but the best baseball player in the league this year.
Wow.
You think I'm lying? 5-2 with a .62 ERA. Not even giving up a run. He's just been masterful. He has 93 strikeouts. And yeah, the Padres have a good lineup, but as good as they are, I think they're going to struggle against DeGrom. He just gets stronger and his velocity goes up every inning. So I think he's going to be lights out. He's going to get, I predict 7 innings, 90 pitches, 2 hits, no walks, 11 Ks.
Yeah.
What a line.
To your point about the velocity, check for about like 10 plus balls over 100 miles an hour with his fastball.
Oh, yeah.
Painting the black. He's incredible.
He's incredible. And the Mets bats have been picking up as of late. So I think they get a couple runs for DeGrom, and I think they get the win at home.
He can single-handedly win you a ball game.
Yeah, with his bat.
That's to your point about him being the best baseball player in the game. I think something about the talent level, Shohei Ohtani has a little argument there, but you're looking literally at possibly the 2 MVPs in both the AL and NL.
Wow. Speaking of Shohei Ohtani, let's go right into that game because that's the only other game that I touched as of right now. Shohei Ohtani versus Merrill Kelly, 9:41 Eastern. You got Angels minus 142 favorite, Diamondbacks plus 120 underdog, over under set at 9. What is your play?
They're going to get the win tonight. I took them money line. It's minus 143, but touching the player prop for Shohei Ohtani, he's guaranteed to get on the mound tonight. Over 6.5 Ks, I think is light work. It's plus 102, so I'm going to take that.
I like the under 5.5 runs in the first 5. Both aces are on the mound. And like I alluded to a couple pods ago, the Angels don't really hit for Ohtani. And the D-backs lineup just struggles. They're in the bottom half of the major leagues in regards to batting average. So I think Shohei Ohtani will dominate on the mound. And I see maybe like a 2-0 after 5 innings. I think the Angels do win because the Diamondbacks are I can't trust them.
Yeah.
So I like the under 5.5 first 5 between the Diamondbacks and the Angels. Those are my only 2 plays. Do you have anything else?
I do, and I just would real quick on that topic. It's not really safe to touch the run line with the Angels because they tend to give up like runs late in the ball game. So that's why I felt comfortable just taking the money line. So it is no risk involved.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Elvis, you were telling me you have a baseball play.
Red Sox.
Red Sox.
Oh, come on now. Yeah, that wasn't the most predictable.
But they are playing the Blue Jays, and Elvis, I gotta go with the over here. I didn't know where really to lean with the line or money line here, but I like the over 9.5. It's a minus 115. Both ball clubs can hit. They're playing at Fenway. Let's see if the right-handed hitters on the Blue Jays can maybe get something over the Green Monster because the Boston's going to.
It's up to 10 right now, Joe. It went up.
There we go.
It's at 10 right now. I don't know. I don't know about the over, Joe.
They scored 2 touchdowns yesterday. Yeah, I like the over.
We're gonna slow it down today. Slow it down.
Richards is on the mound.
Yeah, he about to ace him up.
I don't know. I like the Red Sox here. I probably that's where I would lean. I think they just have a better offense than the Blue Jays. And another factor is I just don't trust the Blue Jays bullpen either. So maybe if you want to go first 5 money line or first 5 half a run because they're probably favored. That's probably my initial thoughts on that game. Anything else in the Diamond, Joe? What games did you also touch?
Well, anything, if you need to see anything, it's going to reflect on the action app for all of us. I will be taking the Chicago White Sox given the half run in the first 5 because Lucas Giolito's on the mound. And just as opposed to DeGrom, this guy's going to work his off-speed stuff real well, not pitch a lot of strikes. I'm going to take his over as well in the player prop, 7.5 Ks. It's minus 155. So Vegas is telling you that he's basically guaranteed 8 strikeouts.
I would also lean on the run line at minus 1.5. You're getting plus money because
full game.
Full game because the White Sox just destroy left-handing pitching.
That's true.
And Skubal or Scooble, whatever, how do you pronounce his name? He's good, but he's not Lucas Giolito. So
no, that's a big difference.
Yeah, and the offense for the White Sox is just way better than the Tigers. I don't even see how the Tigers score 4 runs in this game, to be honest. So I would lean White Sox minus 1.5 at plus 110. About the Orioles and Rays game, did you touch anything in that game?
No, I didn't get until like the late night games, the ones after the Angels there. So if
you got the Rangers and Dodgers?
Yeah, I honestly just felt comfortable taking the Dodgers team total over 5 runs at minus 114. I feel like they could single-handedly get maybe the entire over for the game, but I just felt comfortable in securing theirs because maybe they get a 6-0 win or a 6-1 win, and the line was at 7.5, and that doesn't hit.
Yeah.
So that's why I felt comfortable. And then Oakland, given the half run in the first 5 at plus 107, felt comfortable because they're getting hot. Actually, they started the season off very rough, but
Yeah.
hey, I'm gonna go inside with my cousin's team here, the Oakland Athletics. Let's go.
Oakland? You mean the Dodgers? We're talking.
No,
about.
I backtracked.
Oh.
I did mention my
okay.
Dodgers team total over, and then I went back to the Oakland
Okay.
Athletics given the half run in the first 5 at plus 107.
I maybe would lean for the Rangers Dodgers. I probably would lean the Rangers plus the half a run. I know, yeah, of course the Dodgers should be favorite, but minus 360. Kershaw hasn't been that good at home. So it does worry me. And the Rangers hit lefties really good. So that's worrisome. For the Dodgers at least.
They're playing
you
out
get a-
west though.
Yes. And Texas is kind of west as well. So, they're not traveling too far. It's a 7:00 game on the West Coast. I'm gonna take the run and a half with the Rangers. It scares me, but you're getting plus 140. So I got a run and a half in my pocket. I like it.
I just wouldn't trust the Rangers, honestly.
I just don't trust the. Yeah. So my thing is the line is just too big. It's minus 360 on the money line for the Dodgers. I could see them being minus 250, 240, 360 is a lot. They're not that much better than the Rangers, I would say.
They might be. They might just be.
Yeah.
Well,
They could have
maybe we'll see.
Cy Younger on their team, maybe an MVP. They're pretty overpowered.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Anything else on the diamond, Joe?
No, I saw the other games you mentioned. I didn't really like the lines there. I took a couple player
Yeah.
props, so I just took what stuff I like.
Absolutely. Let's get into this huge UFC 263 card. We have early prelims, we have prelims, and the main card. Joe, from what you told me, you touched everything.
Yeah, I did. And actually, I would like to mention before we get into the UFC, we do have Bellator 260 this evening.
Nice. What
Yeah.
time tonight?
It's going to be on at 9 o'clock, Showtime and the Bellator.com. You can find them. So that's the way to, view that. But I just, of course, went over the main card, so I can go over some of the picks because you can bet money line on them. All right.
Okay. What do you like?
So, yeah, we'll start it right up in Bellator 260. The first fight of the main card is DeMarcus Jackson against Mark Lemminger. So, it's going to be a little tricky here. Not too much is known about DeMarcus Jackson, even though he did lose 3 of his last 4. He's coming off of a loss as well. His opponent, Mark Lemminger, he did drop 2 straight as well. I will take the slight favor here in Mark Lemminger. The odds are still good. It's not too heavy, minus 122. And his record does only have 3 losses, one of whom we'll get to in the main event. So that's the first fight. There was another fight. They're probably going to do a last-minute replacement here, but the Vanessa Porto versus Ilyara Joanne fight has been scrapped due to Porto not being cleared by the commission to compete. So anyway, I did have Joanne in that at plus 360, but that's neither here nor there as the fight is canceled. And the fight after that, Aaron Pico, minus 500 against Aiden Lee, plus 360. I got to be stupid not to roll with Aaron Pico here. Dude's probably going to get a first-round knockout. He's vicious on the stand-up. He's a future superstar.
Minus 650 on the money line.
Wow,
Ugh.
it even moved to that. So when I got it at minus 500 was probably the time to get it because it's probably
I
only going to
think
go up.
he's the biggest favorite on the card.
Yeah, by far. The skills will prove it. Watch tonight. That's probably going to be an interesting fight to view, to see this guy who I think is a future champion, Aaron Pico.
Mm-hmm.
So the next fight after that, Paul Semtex Daly, underdog here, surprising against Jason the ass-kicking machine Jackson. What a nickname.
What a nickname.
But the Semtex didn't have any trouble weighing in as opposed to Jackson. And, missing weight the first time to the scale and trying to make it the second time does a little to your body. You have to re-dehydrate it or just, hop in a sauna and just get a sweat in to get – we all know about that with wrestling. So It definitely takes a toll, even though they weighed in not just yesterday, it was the day before. So interesting on that part. But I'm going to roll with the money here. I like the underdog plus 166. We went with him last time. Semtex got that knockout. So I'll roll with it again. Money line plus 166. So let me take that. And, hey,
nice.
Right into the main event, which I find is probably going to be fight of the night. Douglas Lima, our welterweight champion for Bellator, is minus 146 here. And he's going against an undefeated fighter. This dude, Yaroslav Amosov, he is just a perfect fit for his nickname, Dynamo. He's boasting an impressive 25-0 record, and he could do it all. 9 KOs, 10 submissions, and 6 dominant decisions. So, Douglas Lima isn't anyone to sleep on, but there's this wave of talent that's coming into the sport of mixed martial arts, and I think it's fitting that Bellator crowns a new welterweight champion. So I'm going to take the betting underdog as well here. Yaroslav Dynamo Amosov at plus 120. Lock it in.
Wow, it's good that you got it at plus 120 because right now to pick them, they're both at minus 110.
Yeah, I think people didn't really know what he had to offer once you start seeing his record and who he has fought. Like we mentioned, he beat Mark Leminger and finished him, who was the first fight in the main card. This guy has fought killers and has proven victorious every time. So I just like it. I just like the money that we're seeing on this card, and it's happened before when we went and both pick the favorites, we lost. So I'm gonna go with the underdogs, and then we like when the dogs are barking.
So is that it?
That's it for Bellator. Obviously, there's some prelims there, but 9 o'clock main card. You could watch that thing. So right there, yeah, man, that'll take us right into UFC 263, and I know we're gonna have a ball here.
Huge card.
We've been amped up for this for about a week or two now. As soon as the month of June came into play, we were like, yes, let's get to UFC 263.
I just couldn't wait. Like, I like the past couple fight nights. They've been great cards, I thought.
Absolutely.
But I just couldn't wait for this one.
No, definitely not. And, man, like you said, I am going to touch all the card. You can go check the Action app for all the picks that we have, and we're posting them up there. But we got early prelims here. Carlos Felipe is going to be taking on Jake Collier. I'm going to go with the favorite, Felipe, minus 178. Faraz Ziam is taking on Luigi Vendarimi. I'm going to take Vendarimi at plus 116. I like the money there. And we're in agreement on this next fight because I know we talked about it. Chase Hooper is minus 105 against Steven Peterson.
That's my boy.
And, you can't sleep on Steven Peterson. That dude's a beast, man. But I like the young stud. I think he's got a bright future being only like 20, 21 years old. So
I see a lot of potential in him. I think the reach will give Peterson some problems as well.
That's right.
So I'm also going to take Chase on the money line. It's down to minus 102. So he is the slight underdog, which I like.
Some late money coming in on Peterson. Once again, it's another thing where people don't really – you got casuals coming in late to put their bets. They don't really know the fighters, so to speak.
Me.
Oh, no, you're sharp. And then we go right into this. I got some news for you guys. If you're not aware, Frank Camacho was actually in a car accident this week. He had to be pulled from his fight against Matt Steamroller Favola. We send our prayers out to him. And actually some good news. He's in stable condition, conscious, and he seems to be in good spirits. So we wish all the well for Frank Camacho there.
Absolutely.
And, Favola's still going to take a fight. He's taking on a last-minute replacement, Terrence McKinney. And if you don't know about the 26-year-old, he's very active in grappling tournaments, and he's coming off 3 consecutive first-round knockouts. 11 out of his 13 professional fights have also ended first-round knockouts, so he's no stranger to that knockout in the first round. You can only bet at money line. So I'm going to take T-Rex McKinney here at plus 205. I got to roll with these underdogs tonight and tomorrow night.
I like that.
Yeah.
Because he's coming in short notice. The guy won't have Matt. Yeah, it's Matt. He won't have ready to game plan for his kind of fighting. So I think that's going to be it gives Terrence a little bit of an advantage.
Yeah, I think it does. And I don't think he's going to be ready for Vola for what can come in the first round. We'll see what McKinney has to offer. So I'll just go with the money. And this fight that we're going to get to is still in the early prelims, but I went more specific because you could find a way that the fight would finish. Pannie Kianzad against Alexis Davis. I like the experience of Alexis Davis here, and she's the underdog.
Wow. Yeah.
A lot of people are rolling with Pannie, and at first I think I was going to go with her, but no, I'm going to take Davis via submission at plus 900. She has submissions in the past. If you look at Kianzad's losses, she's gotten caught in submissions. So let's roll with the money. Plus 900 might be something to make us a little something.
At least sprinkle a little
something. It could work out for us. So getting right into the prelims, the first fight, which I think is going to be a banger of a fight. You got Hakeem Dawodu against Movsar Evelev, and I think the more juicier thing to take was the fight going the distance at minus 186. Other than taking the over rounds over 2.5, it was like minus 225. So I found a little better odds in terms of thinking this fight will go the distance because I really think that not only is the skill level not too separate, I just think that these guys go to decision a lot. So it'll be a close fight. Yeah.
I don't have anything on the prelims except Eric, your boy.
Ooh, that's a great fight. They're running that one back. Real quick, you got Joanne Calderwood against Lauren Murphy. Yeah. That's going to be a little step up. They might need one more fight maybe to get into title contention there, but those two are ranked very high in their division. But I'll go with Bad Mofo Jojo via decision at plus 105. I like the younger athletic. She's got great striking. And Lauren Murphy, the way she's gonna have to win is gonna have to implement her game plan, which is taking her down. But I think Joanne can control the distance, so I'll take her plus 105. And just as you said, man, your boy Eric Enders, he's taking on Darren the Dentist Stewart, and they're running it back because the first fight we watched this, man, it ended in a no contest after that devastating groin strike. Remember?
Yeah. I do
so
remember.
I hate to be so neutral here. We love your boy, but I'm gonna take the under 2.5 rounds at plus 112. I think we get a finish in this one. We're seeing that possibly in the first fight until the no contest. But if you want, here's something else. You could take a knockout finish on how the fight will end via KO or TKO at plus 130. So a little more juice there for your squeeze.
You see that, right, Elvis? No, you're literally spot on from what I did. So I think both fighters have a lot of KOs. Anderson with 62% of his wins by KO, and Stewart has 58% of his wins by KO. Both fighters have serious power. Like you, I don't think it goes 2.5 rounds. So I like that. I'll tell you on the under 2.5 rounds, you're getting plus money. But my official play was exactly how the fight will end. And I got by KO TKO at plus 130. I think it's great odds.
Great minds think alike because.
But I am rooting for your boy.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I hate to be neutral, but we love that ex-Alabama linebacker, man. And it just as opposite, polar opposite right there. The next fight, which could possibly try to steal his fight of the night, is Drew Dober against Brad Riddell.
I think it has a chance at fight of the night.
Absolutely, man. These guys are highly skilled, very technical fighters. It might be a stand-up war. I like the over 2.5 rounds. It's favored at minus 164, but I think it's pretty much guaranteed that it's going to be a barn burner and we get into a decision. So,
do you have a pick on the side? Who do you think?
Brad Riddell is what I saw. He was the betting underdog, and just in the spirit of the night, I'm gonna ride with the betting underdog and take Brad Riddell. If he wins, it might be a good chance that the main event we get Izzy to get a victory. So,
let's go right into that main card.
Yeah, main card, baby. And man, I said it in the early prelims. I said it in the regular prelims, and now in the main card, the first fight we kick off is Paul Craig against Jamal Hill, and once again, not only is it possibly fight of the night, and I'm going to be neutral here because at first I went Paul Craig via submission at plus 440, but I looked so much into it, and I hate to do it, but I got to hedge my bet. So really, it's what you taste and what you think you like, because you could take Hill via KO TKO at plus 135. I also even did a fight to end round 1 at plus 200 because I just think these guys have bad blood. If you didn't see embedded on YouTube what the UFC does, these guys went face to face in the locker room. So these guys, I mean, it's like intense. I think the fans being back in the arena is giving these fighters more motivation to want to beat each other up, man. It's proven. I think it's proven. You see it in the embedded. You see it when the press conference come around. When the fans are in the arena, these guys come to fight.
I think Hill has the reach advantage, and I think he's undefeated. And I know Paul Craig's a little more of the experienced guy. He's great on the ground, and most of his wins are through submission. So I see your logic on that. But I think it's Hill's time. He's on fire. He has some serious power. If he could defend Paul Craig's takedowns, I could see Hill getting the KO. I'll take Hill by KO, TKO at minus 120.
Wow, it's favored.
I think he gets the job done. He's 8-0. He's clearly the most favored. He's the favorite for a reason at minus 310 on the money line. Obviously, I'm not going to lay that kind of juice, so I'll take him. I think he does get the knockout at minus 120.
The riskiest of the bet there is, if you really like Hill, is to take him with the first round knockout. And when I saw it was like plus 1,000, plus 1,200. So if you guys see that and you like Hill, maybe go specific and go with the KO TKO in the first round. You're going to get great odds. Dylan, any update on that?
So yeah, Hill KO TKO in round 1 plus 220.
Yeah. So
you're still getting plus value, but I don't know if
people are liking it. That's the thing. You see the odds they're getting more favored and favored as time's going on. So if you see a line, you always preach this. You see a line, you like it, hit it.
Hammer it.
Smash it.
Oh. I think this is my fight.
Yeah, I liked it, man. I had to tell you here because my OG side was coming out and saying, man, Damian Maia, it's like a surprise kind of like trap fight here. He's gonna get the victory. He's gonna beat Bilal Muhammad. But man, how can I go against Bilal Muhammad, bro? The way he just keeps the octagon control, You know, he has great striking. He has great grappling. I think enough just to defend and maybe put it on Damian Maia. I don't think he could finish him. Damian Maia has proven time and time again, even at 40+ years of age, he could get it done, and he could go into decision and push a fight and do pretty much anything he wants to. He's still competing in grappling tournaments all over the world and teaching, and you just got to respect Damian Maia. He's a guaranteed Hall of Famer. But,
oh yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, Belal Muhammad here. The future's bright with, remember the name. I'm gonna take Muhammad via decision plus 110.
Ooh, nice. Like you said, Damian Maia, great grappler. He has 14 submissions in his career, 11 decisions. Same thing with Belal Muhammad. Most of his wins are through the decision. But I just think in this fight, he applies pressure too much. He controls the center of the octagon in most of his fights that I've watched. But like you said, Damian Maia is a Hall of Famer. He has a lot of submissions in his career. So he's probably going to try to take Belal down. But Belal Muhammad's takedown defense is 85%. So it is really good.
Really good.
So I think it goes the distance. And Belal, remember the name, is going to win by points at plus 110. 13 of his 18 wins have gone to decision.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to want to come out strong and set the tone, especially after Eye Poke Edwards almost took his fucking eye
It's
out.
almost a travesty that he didn't get that fight back, to be completely honest with you.
I agree, and I'm surprised that they didn't run it back like how Eric Andrews and Stewart are running it back.
Yeah, they really said that Leon Edwards and Nate Diaz is a title eliminator, but I would love to see if Belal Muhammad gets past Maia to get the matchup with Leon Edwards. Maybe there you could say, I think there you could say maybe they then deserve a title shot. Then you could say it.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think that Leon Edwards going against Nate Diaz might deserve the 170-pound title shot next. So that is the next fight. And just as I said, so even though a lot of people are going with Leon Edwards here, man, I can't do it. You got me effed up if you think I'm going against Nate Diaz. The money's so good here. I think play it safe because Diaz could get a finish. He goes in there saying that I'm training for 2 rounds. He's going to go in there and try to get a finish, but this man's training for war every day of his life. He's ready for a 5-round fight if it needs to go that. And we even talked about it. First 2 rounds could possibly be Leon Edwards, granted. But not anyone really finished Nate Diaz. I think there's like 1 finish in his career there via a body shot as it is. I just don't see Nate Diaz going away. And as the 3rd round comes around, the 4th round comes around, 5th round comes around, that's where you see Nate Diaz take over this fight and win it via decision. I wouldn't do that, though, because like I said, he could get a finish here. He's done it before in the past, submitted Conor McGregor, all the finishes he's had. But I'll take Diaz money line at plus 440 here. The money's too good, baby. Represent 209. Let's go. Yes. Yeah, that's always an issue. The scar tissue buildup. You know, he got cut. He got a cut in the BFF title fight. Jorge Masvidal, where he was losing steam. Nate Diaz was coming up, and he was looking to take the momentum in that fight, but the doctor stoppage is what ruined all that. And, yeah, that's really the only concern I had there because the cardio is not going to be a concern. The boxing is not going to be a concern. And the grappling is definitely not going to be a concern. Yeah, it's just... Yeah, decision machine. Absolutely. Elvis, you liking that? You liking the money there on Nate Diaz? I believe so. Now, not surprised, motherfucker. So yeah, man, that is the first fight in UFC history that will be a 5 round fight, not being a co or a main event or a title fight. So yeah, that's impressive stuff there, and that's we're in for a doozy, and that's credit to Nate Diaz, man. So all power to that man. Going into co-main event though, here we got Deiveson Figueiredo against Brandon Moreno. They're running it back. I love Brandon Moreno, man. You can't hate that guy. There's nobody in their right mind has a dislike to that guy, a single bone in their body that doesn't like him. I mean, he's just a likable dude. That fighting Mexican spirit that he has, dude, he's a killer. But I think Figgy's trying to make it like personal. You know, he's pushing him around. He's like, I want to fight you anytime I see you and stuff like that. And I just think that. Yeah, and I just think that that's gonna fuel him a little more. He did have trouble making the weight. He actually had, he only had a minute left remaining before making the weight, actually making it. So if he didn't make it there, he did. The fight's official, but if he didn't, he would have, the fight would have been scrapped, or they would have not have been for a title. But hey, fortunately we do got it. Everything's legit, and I just think I'm gonna have to take the more explosive dude. He's way bigger, and that's why he had trouble making weight. So Figgy, double chance, KO, TKO, or submission at +110, and you can even go and take a separate bet at Figgy round 1 win at +380. I actually think he might even, sink in a submission in the early first round. I wanted to play it safe and think maybe the KO or TKO or sub, kind of hedge myself, but. Man, I'm liking the sub victory. I think he can get it done. Maybe Brandon Moreno gets a little, aggressive with his wrestling and he gets caught, because Deiveson does have vicious, guillotines and finishing ability, power in his hands. I do. Like, he said that he was sick, and Brandon Moreno thinks that, the fight went to draw and he was at full strength. Figgy goes, no, I was sick. I went into that fight not 100%, and we went to a decision where it was a draw, where he still thought that he won that fight. So you could get where this whole vendetta of Figgy's side is coming from. Yeah. No, he's a finish guy. He does. Like it. That's good. A little better odds than mine. Yeah, that and now I think they really everyone wanted to make these fights entertaining. Like, they're just getting more and more aggressive. Like, Nate's very impartial. Like, he could care less, to be honest. He's there to fight his fight, and he don't give a fuck. But in terms of the co-main event and the main event, like, these guys are trying to make it, try to promote it. So I like what I'm seeing, and going right into that main event there, we got the last style bender, Israel Adesanya, our boy Izzy against Marvin, the Italian stallion, the Italian dream, Vittori. You know, uh, man, it's hard to go against the motherland here, but man, Izzy striking is just levels ahead of where Marvin Vittori is. I wanted to maybe go specific and take the second round KO TKO, but I'll play it safe and take the Israel Adesanya KO TKO anytime at +170. I think once he utilizes the leg kicks and establishes the range in the first round, he bruises up that Vittori's not going to be able to shoot. He's not going to be able to close the distance, try to clinch, and, entice those grappling exchanges. And I think that Adesanya going up 20 pounds to fight at light heavyweight against Jan Blachowicz, even though he lost that fight and got taken down a lot, I think it helped him. It's definitely improved his defense, his takedown defense, and just experiencing that body weight in there as a real fight for a championship title means a lot in terms of experience points. And Izzy is maybe one of the most experienced mixed martial artists in the world today. So I just like what I'm seeing from it. I can't go against the champion. He said he wants to put on a lights out performance. If you want to go specific, take the second round knockout. You're probably getting way plus odds, but play it safe at Israel Adesanya via KO TKO +170. Let's do it. Let's do it. What you got, Guru? Wow. Why, he takes him down and knocks him out? On the feet? Oh my god. Wow. Yeah, Chris Lee, Judge Chris Lee. He did score in favor of Vettori. Killers. I like that. That does it for UFC 263, man. I think we're in for a hell of an event. I think we're in for a treat. Lock in because it's gonna be on at like 6:30. I think that's early prelim. So I'm gonna be watching from there. I'm gonna be watching Bellator tonight, and it's all gonna accumulate in the Israel victory. Vittori's going down. Hey, yeah. Hey, we had those. One of those sports books said, you win $100 if Israel Adesanya throws a single punch, and you go, yeah, and you go, oh, it's gonna end on a leg kick injury first. So I love the Vittori pick though, Elvis. Let's see who comes out victorious. Yeah, absolutely. I'll be here. I told you that. Strong.